Tonight, a local state house candidate under fire after reports she lied about receiving a college degree.
Plus, the state attorney announcing new details in the Clearwater Stand Your Ground shooting case.
And an update on red tide conditions on area beaches. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Topping our news this evening, some Suncoast Republicans are calling for one of their candidates to step down from a state house race.
According to a university in Ohio, local candidate Melissa Howard appears to have lied about her degree and forged what appears to be a fake diploma. ABC7's Adam Cellini joins us live this evening from the Republican Party headquarters in Manatee County to explain more. Adam.
Yes, Scott and Jacqueline, good evening. You can see the campaign signs lining the landscaping here by the GOP headquarters in Manatee County. Tommy Gregory in full view, but his opponent, Melissa Howard, no signs that we can see. Now, we have not heard back from these party members about whether or not they want to ask Melissa Howard to drop her campaign leading into the primary, but the Republican candidate certainly has a long road ahead after posting a picture that may have doomed her campaign.
We're out here every day working.
Instead of canvassing, local state house candidate Melissa Howard is covering for an apparent lie about her education.
When I first heard about this story, I was like, uh-oh, because this spells trouble for the candidate.
After an online report challenged Howard's degree from Miami University in Ohio, the Republican candidate posted pictures of a framed diploma and transcript on her since-deleted Facebook campaign page with the words, "The truth shall set you free." But the truth, according to the university's general counsel, is Howard never received a degree, pointing out the degree on her diploma doesn't exist, and the date in 1996 is 2 years after she was enrolled.
If you're ever caught misleading, it can lead to a doomed campaign.
Political science professor Michael Rogers wants to hear Howard's version of the truth, but her campaign declined comment Monday, and the guards at her gated Lakewood Ranch neighborhood were under specific instruction to turn media members away. The Sarasota office for the business she runs with her husband also empty on Monday. Local party leaders indicated this weekend they would not ask Howard to resign before her primary election against Tommy Gregory later this month. Other party members say they should.
They want to put the truth in the forefront, and they don't want any type of misleading statements that characterize the local Republican Party, if not the national Republican Party as well.
Now, it's worth noting that education is not listed as a requirement for candidates running for the State House of Representatives. And coming up later tonight, we will be continuing the discussion about Melissa Howard's education and what she should do with her campaign. That's all coming up at 7 o'clock tonight. For now, reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Adam Cellini. Back to you in the studio.
Adam, thank you. Tonight, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office investigating a shooting in Palmetto. Shots were heard on 9th Avenue Drive East last night. Deputies say someone left the scene in a white four-door car. 2 homes were hit, but no one was injured. The search for a possible suspect is ongoing. Deputies are also looking for 3 suspects accused of shooting at a pedestrian with a BB gun in Bradenton. Just before 8 o'clock last night, deputies say 3 men drove alongside the victim in a black Chrysler 300 in front of the Cox Chevrolet dealership on Cortez Road West, and they fired 2 rounds from a BB or pellet gun, hitting the victim in the leg. Anyone with information is asked to call Manatee County Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen.
New developments now in the Stand Your Ground case out of Clearwater that's getting national attention. The Pinellas County State Attorney says 47-year-old Michael Draka has been charged with manslaughter in the shooting death of 28-year-old Marquise McLaughlin. Officials say he was arrested today. The Pinellas County Sheriff initially refused to charge him based on the controversial state law. Surveillance video shows McLaughlin leaving a convenience store and then shoving Draka to the ground. Seconds later, Draka pulls out a handgun and shoots McLaughlin as he backs away. For more on the latest breaking news across the state and here on the Suncoast, as well as your first alert weather, just download our apps. You can find them in your app store. Look for WWSB or My Suncoast.
An update now on red tide conditions here across the Suncoast. Sarasota County officials say Siesta, Venice, and Broward beaches are being mechanically cleaned today. Over the weekend, almost 15 tons of dead fish were removed from Lido Beach. Another 4 tons were removed from Siesta Beach. The cleanup effort also continues in Manatee County. As of 8 o'clock this morning, officials say there were light amounts of fish as compared to late last week. One beach rake was being run from Bean Point southward, another from Coquina Pass to the north. And also take a look at this video. Some people living off Westmoreland Drive in Sarasota woke up to dead fish along the Sarasota Bayfront.
And sadly, the red tide is likely the cause of 2 more dolphin deaths here on the Suncoast. According to Mote Marine Lab in Sarasota, a 10th bottlenose dolphin was recovered Sunday morning on Casey Key. Later that day, an 11th was recovered on Siesta Key. That's 11 dead dolphins in less than a week. Scientists from Sarasota's Dolphin Research Program, which Mote participates in, identified that 11th dolphin as a 12-year-old male named Speck. They have been documenting Speck since he was born back in 2006 as part of their study of the long-term resident bottlenose dolphins living in Sarasota Bay.
Well, we have a link to the FWC's weekly red tide reports and Mote Marine's daily beach reports, as well as the rest of our coverage on the red tide outbreak on our website, mysuncoast.com/red tide. Certainly some good information there. Well, not many storms out there this afternoon. Let's take a look at our first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
And getting a look at the tower cam, now looking out over Sarasota Bay. Van Way's a webcam showing fairly calm conditions out there in the seas. Not many storms around is right, and that's a result of that westerly component of the wind that we've seen for the past couple of days now. We have the high clouds moving off from the east to the west, however, and it looks as though we'll see a transition come on Wednesday, and we'll get back to that east to southeasterly flow. But with this trough of low pressure just kind of hanging over the southeast United States, that has really force that high pressure down to our south. That is going to lift and move off to the northeast a bit on Wednesday, which will allow that high pressure to settle or center over north central Florida. Right now, the heaviest storms to the north of us along Interstate 4 in central Florida. A few isolated cells popping up here and there in the north portions of Manatee County right now. You can see that basically east of I-75. This one lone storm producing just one lightning strike in the last 10 minutes or so. Nothing going on in area beaches. As far as the weather goes, some pretty heavy weather along I-75 into Hillsborough County, stretching up toward Ruskin right now. The outflow from these could generate a few isolated cells, but most areas should stay dry. We may have a few more isolated late night storms and overnight storms on Tuesday morning. 87 degrees right now. It feels like 96 out there, and the relative humidity at 67%. The forecast model suggesting inland storms mainly throughout this evening. Not much going on near the coast. It stays relatively quiet with 1 or 2 isolated storms popping up during the early morning hours. More on our weather forecast for the rest of the work week coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. In first alert traffic tonight, a new study shows drivers will accept the risk of crashing at intersections with red light cameras in order to avoid getting a fine. The study found cameras reduce the number of cars running red lights, since drivers will often attempt to stop when the light turns yellow. While the number of T-bone crashes has gone down at intersections with cameras, the study found non-angle accidents like fender benders increase when there are cameras present. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll look at the numbers here in Sarasota and see if the number of crashes has gone up or down at intersections with red light cameras.
A downtown Venice Road will be closed due to ongoing construction project. Miami Avenue from Harbor Drive to Nassau Street will be shut down. Part of that ongoing beautification project in downtown Venice that we've been telling you about. Crews will be replacing stormwater drains down the center of the road. The work should last for about 2 weeks. Coming up, California firefighters are making big strides in their efforts to contain numerous wildfires burning now across the state.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, new research is beginning to show just what impact Zika had on babies exposed to that virus. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Don't hide it. We know that sometimes emotions just get the better of you, especially at the Honda Summer Spectacular event. And we know getting a deal on the Honda Civic, a 2018 KBB.com Best Buy, can be quite liberating, especially when this stylish Honda Civic comes with Sport Mode.
Yes! Yes!
Express what you're feeling at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
I'm happy you're happy.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Civic today.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Some promising news for crews fighting fires in California. Over the weekend, they made some major progress as they continue to battle 11 large wildfires burning across the state. Camilla Brumil shows us their progress from Corona, California.
Firefighters working around the clock in California are finally making headway.
There's no words for the amount of thankful that we are.
Over the weekend, crews were able to increase the containment of the Holy Fire to more than 50%, up from just 10% on Friday. Nearly half of the 21,000 people under mandatory evacuation were able to return home. One woman shared photos of her house covered in red fire retardant but spared by the flames. We're also getting a glimpse of what evacuations were like last week.
Get in, that's the dog.
Newly released police body cam video shows crews racing to help evacuate an animal shelter ahead of the Nelson fire in Vacaville.
My mind was racing. I was calling as many people as I could to see if they could get down here, who can bring crates.
Fortunately, the flames never reached the shelter and all the animals are now in foster homes. Meanwhile, crews continue to make progress in several other large fires. The Mendocino Complex fire, the largest in state history, and the deadly car fire are more than 60% contained. A memorial service was held over the weekend for firefighter Jeremy Stoke, who died battling that fire. On Sunday, Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke toured neighborhoods damaged by the car fire. On Monday, he and Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue head to Redding for updates on the blaze. In Corona, California, I'm Camila Burnell reporting.
Well, here in Florida, Governor Rick Scott is declaring a state of emergency for 7 counties affected by red tide, including Sarasota County. This emergency order means that state funds will be used to combat the red tide.
Yeah, we're still getting that sort of onshore wind, right?
Unfortunately, yeah, and it's piling everything up against the areas facing west, so that's not allowing it to get out into the Gulf of Mexico at this point. That's going to change, though. We're going to see a little bit of a change come Thursday and Friday. We may get back to that persistent southeast wind. We haven't seen much of that over much of the summer. Here's what's going on with the Casey Key webcam showing that onshore flow kicking up a little bit of waves. The winds haven't been all that strong. The pressure gradient not all that tight. And we've had a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day. Not much rain at all. Boy, we had some big storms in the early morning hours this morning. A rumble of thunder, big-time lightning, and heavy rain in some isolated areas. Some areas, rain gauges picking up 4 to 5 inches of rainfall in a short period of time. Nothing like that going on now. A few morning coastal showers are again possible tomorrow with this kind of setup and that trough over the southeast. We will look for stronger cells late in the day, inland areas again in the afternoon. And as far as the winds go, well, Thursday, I think we'll get back to more east to southeast winds. Now, we're still going to have a little west coast sea breeze developing every afternoon, but it won't stick around nearly as long as we've seen this persistent west wind over the past several days. Now, sustained winds generally out of the west southwest up and down the coast, 5 to 10 miles an hour from Parrish to Wet, Bee Ridge, all the way to Siesta Key and down south into Inglewood. It's out of the south for the most part. In the south as well, Minnesota Beach, Warm Mineral Springs at 8 miles an hour, and Northport out of the west southwest. High pressure still centered down to our south. This high is going to move over north central Florida, and with the winds rotating around in a clockwise fashion, that will bring us that easterly component and even a southeast wind, I think, on in through Thursday and Friday. You can see these storms moving off with a little shift to the east, but mainly off to the north right now. We have a few isolated cells popping up here and there. Looks like mainly east of I-75 tonight. You see one lone cell producing a lightning strike there. Nothing in Northport, Inglewood, and Venice at this time. Still some activity out here in the Gulf. And as I alluded to, there's a chance we could see a few isolated cells popping up overnight once again. Now, the moisture content, the moisture available for these storms to really get going is around. We got some medium-sized moisture in there. As far as that real dry air is concerned, it's still well to the east and south of us, but some of this will be working its way in, and that will lower our rain chances even still, I think, on Wednesday and Thursday. Winds out of the west-southwest for the overnight. We'll see a little bit of an east turn. That's the land breeze developing during the early morning hours. That's what kicks those storms off. We have a little convergence set up. And then by the afternoon, they'll be switching around again to the west-southwest, really by late morning and into the early afternoon hours. Tonight, inland storms mainly through the next several hours with a few showers popping up in the Gulf of Mexico to start the day off. It should be okay for a drop-off for school tomorrow, not a problem, but then pick up. We could see some inland storms, so that may be a factor into Hardy and DeSoto, as well as in the eastern portions of Manatee and Sarasota counties. Not a lot going on near the coast, and it should be a relatively quiet week for the most part, with our rain chances staying fairly low due to that drier air that will settle in for a short period of time. And you can see once again, Wednesday we start to see a little transition to an east-southeasterly wind. I think more so on Thursday and into Friday. Well, the forecast for boaters tomorrow, winds will be out of the southeast to start the morning off, but quickly switch to the southwest at 5 to 10 knots. And seas will be 1 to 2 feet out there. And as far as the 7-day forecast goes, slight chance for scattered storms coming back toward the coast on Thursday and Friday, with a chance for late-day storms over the weekend at 30%. Jacqueline?
All right, thank you so much, Bob. In health news tonight, ever since the Zika virus outbreak in 2016, doctors and officials have been trying to protect the most vulnerable from the disease, mainly mothers and their unborn children. Kim Hutcherson has new research showing the impact Zika had on those babies.
3 years after the Zika virus made its way to the Western Hemisphere, researchers are learning more about its impact. According to newly released data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 7 babies born to women infected with Zika have health problems that could be linked to the virus. The birth defects range from small head size and brain damage to nervous system problems like hearing and vision impairments. The 4,800 pregnancies studied were all in the U.S. territories and happened between 2016 and 2018. Authors of the study warn the number of health issues could increase as the children get older and start showing more signs of developmental problems. Also in the report, new guidance for couples trying to get pregnant. Couples should abstain from sex or use condoms for 3 months after their last symptom or possible exposure to Zika. If already pregnant, it's recommended that couples abstain or use condoms throughout the woman's pregnancy. That's because birth defects related to Zika can develop at any stage of the pregnancy. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Well, if you're concerned about bug bites but worried about chemicals, here's how to protect children from ticks and mosquitoes. The American Academy of Pediatrics advises refraining from using repellent on infants younger than 2 months. You should not put it on children's hands or around their mouths or on any cuts, wounds, or irritated skin, and apply spray repellent in an open area to avoid inhaling it. Coming up, new details in the investigation into the man who stole a plane from a Seattle airport. An incredible video of cars being swept away by floodwaters in New Jersey. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398, or visit SoClean.com today.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
In first alert traffic at this hour, US 301 is backed up in Manatee County, just north and southbound lanes, right as you get to the State Road 70 intersection. Well, overnight, a Utah man steals a plane and intentionally crashes it into his own home. This is security questions still remain about how a ground crew employee was able to steal a plane from an airport in Seattle, taking it on a joyride before crashing. Here's ABC's Danya Backus with a look at those frightening crashes.
Are you sure he's not going to hit us?
This is the frightening view of the sky showing the Q400 passenger plane authorities say Richard Russell, a baggage handler for Horizon Air, stole from Seattle SeaTac Airport.
I played video games before, so I know what I'm doing a little bit.
Russell, who had no pilot's license and no known experience flying, was somehow able to take off and fly the plane. The FBI says he has no ties to terrorism. Airport authorities say he passed federal background checks, even extra security measures at that airport.
We've gotten information that all security protocols were handled appropriately here at the airport.
Before his so-called joyride ended in a fiery crash, Russell expressing remorse.
Just a broken guy, got a few screws loose. I guess. Never really knew it until now.
As investigators in Seattle try to figure out how to keep this from happening again.
Oh, the whole house.
In Utah, authorities are investigating an apparently deliberate plane crash into this home. Police say 47-year-old Dwayne Yode, a licensed pilot, intentionally crashed into his own home.
It's a ball of fire. It's hot.
The crash happening just hours after he was arrested and released on domestic violence charges. Yode died in the crash. His wife and a juvenile who were inside the home were able to escape without injuries. Yode is described as an experienced pilot. In Seattle, investigators now hoping data recorders from that plane will provide more insight. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A man is dead after his car became trapped in a flooded canal near Tucson, Arizona last night. Police say the extremely fast high water prevented first responders from reaching the car immediately. The water carried the car a half-mile down the waterway. Crews had to wait for the water to recede before they could recover the 46-year-old man's body from the car. It wasn't clear how or why the car had entered that canal.
Incredible video out of New Jersey shows cars being tossed around in a river like toys. Take a look at this video from Little Falls. Heavy thunderstorms swept through on Saturday and dropped around 5 inches of rain, which then caused water to back up quickly. A car dealership sits near the Peckman River, and as floodwaters rose, cars were submerged. Some were swept into the river, along with cars washed away from a nearby shooting range. One tow company owner says more than a dozen vehicles were removed from that water by Sunday morning. And the New Jersey couple's wedding day did not go as planned. A Bogota police officer seen here bringing the bride to safety through the roof of a flooded car, all while she was wearing her wedding dress. The groom and other members of the wedding party were also rescued. The police department sent their well wishes to the newlyweds after this rocky start to their wedding. Yikes. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, school is now back in session for students here on the Suncoast. A look at the new security measures in both Sarasota and Manatee counties.
Plus, how one fast food restaurant in Venice is showing its appreciation for one of their regular customers.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Get more for your money during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-871-1644. 800-871-1644.
The Players Center invites you to explore the family dynamic in the classic story of On Golden Pond. The Tony Award-winning play opening August 9th is funny, thoughtful, and brutally honest. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. On Golden Pond is calling you.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.